Hello and good morning. You're watching Traders Next Door. I'm your host, Ed Katashabe from Forex Insights SA, and this is the Daily Scoop. Now, amidst all the hustle and bustle the markets have been in the last couple weeks with the Fed trying to decide if they're going to cut rates, hike rates, or keep them the same, gold reaching all-time highs, and Donald Trump's tariff scares being amok, this week, however, is all about the jobs market. Jobs data has been coming out this entire week, all culminating in the climax that is NFP happening later today. So let's talk about how the latest data has come out and how that's going to impact NFP today. So starting off with PMI, which is the Purchasing Managers Index. This is an index based on surveys to some of the top project managers and is a leading indicator of what the health of the sectors of the economy are doing currently. Now, if we see a score of above 50, that means that the economy is generally in a growth phase. And if we see scores below 50, then typically the economy is in a bit of a contraction phase. And this week we got a score of 50.9, above the 49.3 that we were expecting. This is the first sign of growth in this index since April of 2024. So we saw a little bit of growth in the PMI, a very positive reading that the market wasn't necessarily expecting. Looking over to the JOLTS job openings, this is a measure of the number of new job openings available, new hires, and culminating that with some of the new layoffs and people quitting their jobs that have happened in the last month. The idea being that if a lot of job openings are available, there are a lot of new hiring, quitters are really low, layoffs are really low. This is a sign of a very strong labor market and an overall good sign for the economy. It means that jobs are in very high demand at the moment. Here we saw a little bit of a miss, seeing a 7.9 million, whereas the expectation was around the 8 million mark, down from the previous 8.16 million. So a little bit of a slowdown in the job markets there. Moving on to ADP, which is the closest cousin to NFP. This is a measure of the private sector payrolls. So this is all non-farm, non-governmental jobs and how those have changed over the last month. Here we saw a huge upswing of 183,000 from the expected 148,000. So a massive upswing on the ADP. And yesterday we saw unemployment claims coming in at 219,000 rather, up from the previous 208,000. So a little bit more unemployment claims coming in over the last month. Now, this isn't a huge uptake, and it is against the trend of what the uptake of unemployment claims have been in recent history. However, this is still something that market investors are going to keep note of. If this trend continues, it might signal a weakening job market over the next coming months. So this is one to look out for. And looking at how the Fed has been behaving over recently, Jerome Powell and the Fed decided to pause on all rate cuts for now, still looking towards inflation as being their key indicator of what they're planning on doing. So they're going to be watching NFP very closely today, and how that data is going to impact their future decisions is left to be seen, but it is going to have its own significance. So looking at NFP happening today, there's a lot of mixed data aboard, some good signs, some somewhat troubling signs coming forward. So NFP, what is it going to do? Are we going to be bullish? Are we going to be bearish? Left to be seen, but the name of the game is going to be volatility. Whatever the move ends up being, it is likely going to be a big one. We also have unemployment data coming up at the same time, which makes trading NFP tricky. The actual NFP print can go one way, where the unemployment data can go a slightly different way. This does contribute a lot to how the market interprets and moves according to when the data comes out. So whether you're bullish or bearish on NFP today, volatility is going to be the name of the game, and a lot of money will be made. If you want to take advantage of that, you can get yourself a Vault Funder account. Use code FISA, F-I-S-A, to get 35%, all two-step accounts. And we also have one-step accounts available now. Get your account today, trade NFP, make your bag, go for glory. This has been Traders Next Door, and you have just heard the Daily Scoop.